Thank you very much, Carrix. Now, Marby, I always like to come into a game just feeling a little bit fresh, revitalize ourselves. And what better way to do that than by reading one of my favorite jokes of all time. So I'm going to go with this. A son asks his dad, "Dad, what's it like to be drunk?" The dad replies, "Well, son, you see those 2 cars ahead of you? A drunk man would see 4 cars. To that, the son replies, "But Dad, I can only see 1 car." A little bit like how I'm looking at this series and I'm seeing GAM being 2-0 over SBTC Esports.
That joke is... Alrighty. Fair enough, but okay. Yeah, we are... Look, SBTC have picked themselves a very interesting draft. They don't have great, really, potential to do a lot. Zeri is a very easy bully target once again, and Palette on this Galio, you'd think the strength of it is to sort of try and get out of the lane and leave it in maybe in a 1v1, but I think if you try and leave Celebrity alone, B doesn't have to follow. B can just start killing Celebrity over and over again, feed the Jinx, and Jinx gets to be the absolute menace that's been ruining pro play for the past however many months? 3 months, so... Yeah, and once again, now Style and B, they're going to grab this early advantage in the lane thanks to the rocket shove, and B's just set up waiting for that level 2.
But meanwhile, in the mid lane, SBTC have already got things going, looking for Carti. The flash not burn, maybe 2T going in a little bit too early, but Carti has to be careful because Spot could look for the repeat gank.
Carti very comfortably knows Levi's on the top side, so he leans up that way, and might be a bit of a clash in the jungle. Levi should have the advantage right now, and Carti's here first.
Carti was always going to get here first, but this is way too aggressive. And it's Levi who picks up a free kill. He got his raptor camps as well, and Spot, well, that did not look good.
Yeah, first blood for probably the big raptor. Yeah, good job, Spot. That's going to set them off to a really good start. Now Levi now gets pretty much free clear his full jungle. He's going to back with in a very comfortable position, and then can actually just start looking to impact these lanes once again. Style and B completing this push onto this bot side. Huge side lane pressure. Actually, all 3 lanes are winning for Levi, so he can just sort of play it fairly safe if he wants to. But yeah, Spot's just poking his head in pointlessly. Carti's already got the shove and is just happy to walk backwards. 2T does not have the push power to really make up for it this early on the Silas.
That just feels like a bit of bad communication between Spot and 2T. Well, I think there's miscommunication of some issue there.
That's just bad decision making from Spot. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can tell your mid laner exactly what you're going to do. He can't help you. He's just like, yeah. What? Why? What are you doing? Stop.
Well, the restaurant is opening up in the bottom lane. GAM, what do you want to order? How about dying yourself? Because SBTC get to make that 3 kills. 2T teleporting in for the hero plays. 3 kills for 1.
Okay, Palette, the goddamn hero that stops the devastating charge, and Celebrity lives so long and is able to put out so much damage. And Spot's able to cover mid lane as well. Look here, the charge comes in from Levi after B engages, and then this taunt here forces it onto the aftershock Galio, not the Zeri.
Oh, that heal!
So long. The clutch heal as well, yeah, it's beautiful to see. Just completely outplay the dive. Do SBTC, and this is a good start, but Levi's not stopping. He's not dissuaded.
Levi's stopping the gank? No, he's going to make sure that Emperor burns that summoner, and then he will retreat back into the darkness of his jungle. And we were talking last game about how both B and Palette have improved, how we've been praising B recently as one of the best teams from the VCS. Yes, we are in the SEA Games qualifiers, but these are still 2 VCS teams. I think Palette might also is slowly getting into the runnings for one of the better supports around, as B engaged on great engage once again from Palette. SBTC turn their focus on towards B. He's on the run. Come on, you've got to give this kill to Celebrity, right? No, it's going to be Spot who picks up the juicy gold.
Yeah, they want to give it to Spot. He's a little bit behind. Celebrity's feeling quite comfortable at the moment. Still happy with that assist goal, but yeah, it's a nice pickup. It's a nice play from Paulette. As just as you praise him, he's able to make something happen on this Galio, and this Galio is looking very, very dominant right now. It's 1-0 and 3. It's been played very, very well, and the rest of the map is just kind of not doing too much. It's very quiet. And now the spot lane, if that spot lane can actually tip into the favor of SBTC, this should be... It's pretty much what they need. It's their only real big win condition, as we see 2 skirmishes about to happen. Kiai manages to walk away from the jump in from Enpa, and no, the clash in the jungle doesn't actually pan out, so just gonna see them go back. Reset coming in from both bot laners. Small advantage to the side of SBTC. Should be balanced out fairly well by the CS, though. It's actually just the CS has brought this game really... It's kept it completely even, as 2T's gonna eat a lot of damage.
Oh, the slow from the gravity well was almost enough for the takes off the Chaos Storm to pick up the kill, but Paulette shows up into the mid lane. Kati knows he's a goner. He just stands there and takes his death bravely, looks death in the eye, and says, I'm ready to go back to my fountain, baby.
Yeah, and 2T baits it beautifully, completely planned out. Absolutely, and Paulette, yeah, he absolutely right in the right place in the right time, really making the case for himself. He looked pretty good on the Lulu in game 1, but everything fell apart around him, so now he's trying to make things happen instead on a more active pick of this Galio, and he's put it to work so far. Can Spot actually sort of transition this into an objective? This Rift Herald's coming up in half a minute. This dragon has been completely untouched. And the Paulette's going in again.
Paulette once more, the ignite dropped down, and Paulette says, howdy, how you feeling, Style? Dredgeline away from B, and a zap from Style as a farewell spell. But Paulette is looking aggressive. Maybe he didn't need to drop down the ignite. That might have been going one step too far.
Yeah, it forces the cleanse, forces them back, lets the push come in from the bot lane, so he can make his way up towards this top side. Want to see him lurk in the mid lane a little bit longer, try and steal some whatever it's called, some experience. So if when he does need to go back down, he can do it quickly. But no, there's no contest on this top side, so easy walk straight back to lane. Don't let the GAM bot lane try and get anything down onto Celebrity.
Well, SBTC have the lead, and I want to be seeing Spot and 2T playing around this bottom side a little bit more, try to get Celebrity even further ahead, because they have the advantage there right now. And as I say that, Levi looking towards the first Drake of the game, nearly 9 minutes in.
Yep, has the push on the bot side, so can convert this pretty comfortably. And it's only a Cloud Drake, so it's not going to be too bad for SBTC. They're not feeling too awful about giving it up. Levi loves it. He gets the little speed boost, which means more attack damage for him, so very happy. And he is also going for this tier once again. I do like to see this coming out from Hekarims. Usually I like to see it a little bit more if they get off to I can see them skipping it if they get off to a lead. Base damages should be more than enough if you can snowball it properly. But if you've been kind of set behind, if you aren't really getting off to that lead you want from this Hekarim, give yourself that little bit of extra damage. You only need that one damage item to do a lot with the amount of Q spam you're going to do.
Yeah, just sitting in this bush, waiting for Ember to step forward, and then he misses the empowered shock blast. Okay, I made that sound a lot more hype than it actually was, but, you know, I've got to have some fun sometimes, right? As we have it engaged in the mid lane, Paulette making an overstep, flashes away, Levi showing it as well, Onslaught of Shadows, delivers Paulette to GAM. Kati picks up the shutdown onto Spot, and 2T will just have to watch as GAM pick up a couple of tower plates for themselves.
Yeah, how did Spot go back in there? Did he do it? Okay, Celebrity's going.
Oh, Tooty has eyes for the Jinx. He's found his prize, he's found his meal, and he will snap it right up, flashes under the tower, and picks up a double kill. SBTC are not going to be giving this series over without a fight.
Yeah, they did not respect the rotate from Celebrity, able to jump over that wall. The Nautilus ult stolen away, can lock them down, and there's nothing really on the map to take as Palette's very aggressive with that, just looking for a bit of poke, did not expect the rest of the team to be there, and it's actually a nice hook timed with that devastating charge, which made it look a little bit funky as Spot gets dragged in, but here they overstay a little bit. Celebrity just waits for that recall to come through, and then the stolen ultimate, the flash into the CC.
How does that land?
Oh. Yeah, Nautilus is meant to be a chunky boy, but he's been working out. He's been in the gym.
I was about to say, good job, B. You've been laying off those donuts. I see that nice slim figure you got there.
Yeah, you love to see it. You love to see a healthy schedule payoff for someone. But now it's comfortably still 100, 200, 300 around
ladies
that.
Ladies and gents, welcome to the SEA Games qualifiers. We're talking about how hench and buff B is looking on that Nautilus, and in case you're wondering what on earth is going on, we don't know either. But what we do know is SBTC are coming back. Game 1, they got slaughtered like GAM. Absolutely. I thought the Summoner's Rift was an abattoir. That's how bad things got. But here in Game 2, SBTC trying to turn things around, but GAM turning it back towards them as Hero's entrance by sometimes for Celebrity. But in goes to Levi with the onslaught of shadows. Scotty making his way down, and this is now the 4v3 play. Do they look for Palette? No, they don't. They look for Celebrity. They get the shut down. Palette next on the menu. They pick it up. GAM with 2 kills for nothing.
Hardy able to rotate first, saves the play because it was actually looking like Celebrity was going to get through fairly untouched. And there's a bit of a scrap going on the top lane, but Kiaya has this very handily, but has already blew the flash earlier, so can't actually follow Emperor over the wall. But wins the health trade, gets to crash the wave, and probably crack another tower plate as well. So it's actually a great hook from B and into trap combo to start it off. But from here, Levi can't get on top of Celebrity, and if Cardi doesn't arrive, they can probably just keep pushing and use that AoE damage from the Zeri to bring it down. But B, absolutely on point with these hooks, picks up another one, and they turn the whole fight around. And goodbye, Cardi.
We got more fights, we got more kills, we got more shutdowns. This is what we like to see from our Vietnamese teams, as both teams are fighting for that right to take on Saigon Buffalo in the finals, right to represent Vietnam at the Southeast Asia Games. And right now, the goal lead on the side of GAM. Levi, he thinks he can take his red buff. On the side of SBTC, they want to say, no, you can't, but B is here as well. Kiaya close by, and SBTC know that their time's up and that they have to back away. Yeah,
they recognize Kiaya backs off, and they cannot take the 2v3 for sure. So they back off. It's just a red buff, not worth giving up anything over. Celebrity appears to have eaten another hook and taken a little bit of damage, but he's still feeling pretty comfortable, still sitting pretty okay on this Triforce. It's only a mythic to a mythic, realistically. So still not quite putting out the same impact as this Jinx on the one item. And this actually is a nice setup for GAM to keep stacking these Drakes. It's, once again, kind of a late stack, because that Cloud Drake took forever to fall. But if GAM are at 2, and if they pick up a nice Drake, this should be the focus. It's a Hex Tech, so this should be a bit more of a focus as the game goes on.
Now, here at VCS English, we love to do our pre-game predictions. So what better than to have a mid-game prediction? Marby, who do you think is going to win this game as things currently stand? In theory, I really love the setup from GAM. They can play a very comfortable front-to-back team fight, but they don't really have a lot of they have a lot of engage and disruption in sort of a frontline scenario and a good backline to follow it up with. But SBTC are a very heavy dive comp, and GAM's frontline do not have fantastic peel. Like, dropping the Onslaught of Shadows on the spot is a sort of a once-off peel is good, but beyond that, you don't have
it's not the best. So there's a lot of options right now. We're sort of looking at the advantage in GAM's favor with the dragon stacking. So I would lean there because that's the only real advantage we currently have working on it. As tower falls in the bot lane, it's actually first brick to GAM despite both the Rift Heralds going over to SBTC.
Well, GAM will happily take in some extra gold from a tower, but look at SBTC. They've been playing in the jungle really well, trying to hide in pockets of vision, trying to see if they could catch out either, I believe it was Style in the mid lane, or indeed Kiaya on the top lane. But both of the laners playing very safely and not allowing the opportunity for an SBTC dive, and this gank, this roaming death squad of SBTC will sadly spend too much of their time in the jungle, and as a result, forfeit away the mid lane outer tower.
Lane pressure coming in from GAM has actually been very fantastic, and it's worked out wonderfully for them. It's picked up 2 towers against the turn of play, and now Spot's sort of hanging out on the top side. He's going to try and make something happen with Enper. Yeah, it's just sitting on a ward.
Oh, Enper shows up. Kiaya, there's no way you're going to outplay this. The final auto attack from Enper picks up the kill. And Emper's first kill of the game. We were on, our classic top lane island. Neither top lane is having any kill participation whatsoever. And now we've got everyone on the scoreboard.
They can't even convert it into this tower as well because Cardi's able to respond with the teleport. And this kind of just leaves them as it's a one and done. They pick up a kill, they have to reset. But now the clapback from GAM can actually come through, and Enper probably isn't going to be able to respond in time, and this tower is actually going to fall down for the side of SBTC. You're going to make a play on Palat.
Okay, so for a second I thought you said they're going to make a play on Pleb. I was like, did you just call Style a Pleb? What's going on? But we've got to dive in. The electrical crash drops down Celebrity on the way out, but Levi is on the hunt. Hero's entrance will buy enough time. Onslaught of Shadows will take Levi out of the fight. The Rift Herald is still down. Can it get the crash in? Oh, Style needs a couple more autos. Onslaught of Shadows dropped down. I thought he had already used that. Oh, sorry, Spot. He hijacked the Onslaught of Shadows. Of course, Levi's not on the side of SBTC as SBTC continue to push in now on the inhibitor tower. And this is starting to look rather similar to game 1 now, but this time it's SBTC who are breaking GAM space.
Quite. It's not quite the level of Rift Herald as that game 1, but being able to crack open that mid lane inhibitor turret, but not actually taking the inhibitor is great news for the side of SBTC, because they're going to get essentially free pressure from this mid lane, but they aren't going to just funnel extra gold in. So this is going to be nice and comfortable. They can work to fix their side lanes a little bit as 2T comes up very big in that fight. Nice collapse. The dive is just a little too much for GAM to handle. They weren't able to burst anyone out. As we're gonna see here, it's a good engage. It's an initial play from so yeah, they made an initial play from Palat, and this it sort of fizzles out thanks to a nice bit of attempted peel from the side of GAM. But with those big ultimates down, now they have no response against the secondary engage, which is the Levi ultimate on the side of 2T. And then with basically the wave cleared down because Victor is so far on the other side of the map, they get to just shove it in, pick up 3 turrets over the course of the play. And now this dragon is going to be the next focus point. If GAM can pick up this Mountain Drake, this does help a lot against the side of SBTC's dive composition.
Well, 2T steals away the depth charge, and you know that he wants to drop that onto Style. In it goes. Palat, the focus drop down onto Levi. He's forced to use the Onslaught of Shadows out to safety. As the Chaos Storm continues to take a spot, 2T Celebrity forced away, Empowered Shock Blast, taking spot even lower. The bag from Levi cancelled, disrupted, as Palat throws down the winds of war. The fight to gain priority in the river for our third Drake of the game for SBTC will be their first Drake. As in comes the engage, Carti goes golden following the Gnar ultimate, and GAM have control of the river. But 2T coming in with the flank. What ult, what ult has he hijacked? Nothing, but he's just going to drop in the engage straight away onto Guardian. Duty has already fallen. The lightning crash drop down. In from behind comes Spot, but Spot can't get a reset. There are no Viego wants to be dropped down. It's a triple kill for Style, and only one member is left standing for SBTC Esports. GAM win the fight, 4 kills to nothing. They get the Drake, and now they turn their attention towards the Baron Nashor.
I was so close to going completely horrific for GAM, but they managed to clutch it out. They stopped 2T from doing damage. They stopped Spot from resetting, and they can convert to this Baron. Levi playing with minimal health bar, but it's only that last point that matters. They're going to pick up the third dragon. They're going to pick up this Baron. They can set up a very strong siege that they do have to still be wary of the dive, but they've played their side lanes better. They've play the siege a little bit better. And here we go again. 2T does not have an ultimate available. His hijack is still on cooldown, so he pops. And Levi is so low, but Spot misses and lands his damage onto B, so he can't actually get that reset. It's a game of inches. If that kill happens onto the Hecarim, possibly you get to see those disgusting Viego things happen, because everyone on guard was kind of pushing the low on those health bars.
And this is a game of fine margins. We're talking about 3,000 gold between the two teams, but it feels closer than that. And with the new bounty system in place this season, there is an ample opportunity for SBTC to find their way back into this game, especially when you consider the scaling aspects that the likes of this Zeri, Silas, and Viego have to them.
It feels kind of weird that there were objective bounties, because I would not expect that to happen at this far down. It's not actually that far from side SBTC, but as you say, those are options available. They do have this mid lane available for them. They're not gonna be able to access that pressure so much thanks to the Baron, but if GAM decides to play on 2 lanes, which is probably the ideal set of play, you can potentially find some extra gold onto Emperor or 2T if they walk their way to that top side. But as is, GAM should be able to take this for pretty much free. It would be pretty foolish to try and defend it. Kiaya has teleport, of course, so they feel very comfortable pushing into the 5-man stack as 4. And they can comfortably rotate into this wave setup by Kiaya. Easy turret pickups. This extends the gold lead comfortably for GAM. They can't
SBTC, they just need 1 kill in the fight. 1 kill for Spot to get a reset, especially if he gets onto someone like Levi. And then he gets all of those stats, he gets his soul, he becomes the Hecarim, and he can turn a fight around. It's the same for Zeri. There's so many snowbally coin flip elements to any team fight that could ensue that can determine how this game pans out.
Extended fights should, in theory, be great for SBTC. With Celebrity stacking that ultimate infinitely, multiple Kingslayers coming out from 2T can be fantastic as well. But the burst on GAM is very high with this Jace Victor.
Onslaught of Shadows, Heroes, entrance on top. This is the global rotation that SBTC have available to them. But 2T has already fallen. Spot goes in. He's able to get the kill. But can he get the soul? He can just in time, but Spot's going to fall as soon as he comes out with Kati picking up the kill. Celebrity forced to take the spark. Surge out to safety. Emperor still standing. But it's now a 2v4. SBTC were only able to get 1 kill. Celebrity on the wrong side of the map. Sniped down by the empowered shock blasting GAM. Get 4 kills, a 4-1. And now they'll be taking the inhibitor towers as well and marching on to the inhibitors themselves.
Yeah, they're going to pick up probably this double inhibitor and back off, and this is a very comfortable win. Big team fights coming out from GAM, and it didn't feel like it was that far ahead. It felt like it was actually a really good start from SBTC, but GAM actually just play the team fight great. It's a huge engage from 2T and Palette, but the actual backup damage arrives so late that 2T's already been deleted, and then Spot's just gone. Emperor's not a real champion, he's a nah. Celebrity does their best, but by the time they arrive, the front line's gone, so they just have to run away. They don't even get to do that.
That was kind of sad at the end for Celebrity, where he realized he had no way to sidestep that shock blast. Oh, 25 seconds to Drake. And for GAM, that is a Hex Tech Soul. If this game wasn't already won, that Sol would practically make it so. And SBTC need to dig deep. They need Palette to find those hero engages. They need Spot to be able to get the reset. They need Celebrity to go crazy.
They have prime position in 7k gold lead to GAM, so where does SBTC go from here? They can't really push in. They're giving it up. They're just giving it up. They can't fight. They actually had a rage bar available, but they didn't have an angle, so this is kind of just a concession from SBTC. They're just giving it up, and they lost that team fight with a pretty near perfect engage, so can they actually win a team fight from here on out? I don't think they can. This could just be a pretty simple walk down from GAM. Maybe they need a maybe they look for a Baron to just secure the wave shove and protect the minion wave so they can break the turrets, but yeah, other than that, very little recourse for SBTC unless GAM make a huge mistake.
Palette just taking a lot of damage. Levi devastating charger forward onto the ward in the hopes that maybe you could get onto Palette as well. And this game is almost like you could say the good guys versus the bad guys. SBTC, they were the bad guys at the start. They got the advantage, but then the good guys slowly started to find their own, and they've been able to force SBTC into their hideaway on the back foot. And now they're waiting for an opportunity to go in, and the hijacked onslaught of shadows might be the way, but the hero's entrance has been cancelled. Tutti trying to get on to start desperately, but he will fall. 2 kills, make it 3 for GAM, and they keep on charging forward. The final inhibitor tower will fall. There are super minions already crashing into the base. Celebrity desperately trying to kite away, won't get hit by the dredge line, but Star doesn't care. He's just turning his attention towards the Nexus towers. Carti has reset, and Carti will teleport in as the final Nexus tower will fall. It's all on the bot lane duo of Celebrity and Palette, but they can't do anything. And while it wasn't the dominating win we saw in Game 1, it's a win nonetheless, and GAM will take our series to match point.
We see once